Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Kid Taj, and I caught on social media it's the Timberwolves Media Day. I'm not sure if it's everybody's Media Day. I don't think it is, but at least I'm pretty sure the Timberwolves had their Media Day. Yeah, they did. And that reminded me of a video that I've been wanting to make for a while, and it's about the Minnesota Timberwolves and just like the incredible range of possibilities that they have in terms of like where are they going to land in the standings, their record, what is it going to be like, man. And it's out of every team in the NBA, the Minnesota Timberwolves are the most unpredictable team for this upcoming season, and for good reason, because when you look at that lineup, you see so many great aspects and a bunch of just there's a high bust potential here. And there's a ton of these factors that are reasons that could slow them down. But reasons that they could be good, it's pretty straightforward, and it's really just their team on paper, the names that they've gotten, the guys on their squad, and even if they don't work it out this year, this team is destined to be great in the future. And I think that they'll get to the play. Like, come on, they should be a lock for the playoffs. It would be shocking if they missed it, but I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, just because of all of the if everything goes wrong, they could be like an 11 seed. Seriously, the West is good. The West is better than ever. They got all these new players. Like, everybody just went to the West now. Teams are getting better in the West. They're one of them, but still, I mean, they didn't make the playoffs last year. They got some great prospects in Cat and Wiggins. And maybe I shouldn't say prospects. These guys have proven themselves, especially Karl-Anthony Towns. The guy's already a superstar player, a menace, and he's going to be an All-NBA first teamer, most likely, in the next few years, I would say. So he's set up to be great and a long-time All-Star type player. Andrew Wiggins, the jury, I think, is kind of still out. A lot of people think that he's already a star, but his defense was pretty much the worst in the league last year. It was awful. The guy's not really a passer. He's not really a rebounder. He doesn't do very much else than shoot the basketball. And with a team like the one that the Timberwolves have, that might come back to bite them, because if you look at that squad, you have a ton of guys that are going to want the ball. Not only in that starting lineup, of course you add Jimmy Butler. That's the huge acquisition you made. Karl-Anthony Towns and Jimmy Butler both put up like 25 a night last year. Andrew Wiggins is going to be the third scoring option, and as a guy that's only really there to score, I'm not exactly sure how well that will go over, how much that will really add to their team. Andrew Wiggins becomes less effective with the addition of Jimmy Butler, because he's doing less of the only thing he does good is scoring. And now, I don't mean to be harsh on the guy, but so far in his early NBA career, he's only been a scorer. And of course, he's got time to bloom into a more all-around player, but we don't know if that's going to happen. That's something that we're going to have to wait and see if he does. Now, I mentioned the bench. They got Jamal Crawford on that bench, among other players. I know Gorgie Jang, he's another guy that I like. On that team, Shabazz Muhammad. They signed Aaron Brooks. So you got some more good scorers on that bench. Jamal Crawford, of course, scoring machine. He's going to be your sixth man. He's going to get buckets. We all know about this. The guy can make any shot you want. The Timberwolves, they got scorers. They got guys that can dribble and shoot. And I think that's the biggest problem, because you have Butler, Towns, and Wiggins, your big three, right? And those guys are going to have the ball a ton. But none of those three guys are the point guard. Jeff Teague was signed to this team to play a role. And Jeff Teague is going to run the offense, not all the time. He's going to bring the ball up a good amount. And he's going to dribble a lot. But, what is Jeff Teague there for? Jeff Teague is a point guard where, you need him. If you're going to have him on your team, he's a guy you're going to want with the ball in his hands a lot, to make plays, to take guys off the dribble and use that pick and roll like he does pretty well. He's a guy you want to score points and facilitate. But you already have a ton of guys that you want the ball to be in the hands of. So, yes, you look at the overall talent level on this team. I should just say value of each player. That Jeff Teague, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Taj Gibson starting lineup is phenomenal. I would say it's probably, just value-wise, on that team, top 3 in the league. I'd say the Warriors and the Cavs are probably the only teams that I can see that have a better starting lineup than this team. But hold on, that's just based off of individual value. Now, will the starting lineup play better than, the Rockets or the Celtics or the Spurs? I doubt it, because these guys, I don't think they're going to make a fluid transition and be great together all the time. Expect some bumps in the road to start. These guys are probably not going to get off on the right foot. Honestly, I could see them being a 500 team for the first 10, 15, 20 games of the year. I really could. And maybe they pick up the pace and get things together, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't figure it out, because you can't have too much of one thing on an NBA team. That the key to success is to have a little bit of everything. You got to have your stars, and they have that, but along with those stars, you need role players that make sense. And I think that the lack of role players, the lack of just a spot-up shooter or a lockdown defender on this team is gonna be the Achilles heel of the Timberwolves, because they don't have that guy. And it would be so nice for this team if they had a guy that was good enough to start, that could just shoot the ball. Just shoot it. Like a Danny Green type player that could shoot, maybe defend a little bit. But, Danny Green's like a really good defender. But I'm just saying, a guy that's there to shoot. Because then you have a guy that, first of all, doesn't need the ball, which the Timberwolves need a guy like that. They need a guy that can shoot the ball. They don't have enough spot-up shooting. And a guy that doesn't need the ball in his hands to do that. Because Jamal Crawford, well, yeah, he can hit the 3 ball. He's a guy that's going to want the ball in his hands a lot, because he's better off the dribble. Jeff Teague is a guy that's a capable 3-point shooter. Jimmy Butler, Karl Towns, Andrew Wiggins, they're all capable of making a 3-point shot, but they're ball handlers first, shooters second. They're looking to create something off the dribble instead of, hit shots off a pass from deep. And we know threes are so important in the NBA, and the Timberwolves don't have enough 3-point shooting. They gotta get really good shooting from guys like Teague and Wiggins and Butler. Those guys have to be converting at an average or above rate, because they need that shooting. And these guys aren't spot-up shooters, but they've got to be spot-up shooters more this season. But we talk about the upside too. I talk about the downsides a lot for this team, a lot in this video, but the upsides are there. On paper, like I said, if this team, they learn how to work together, everybody will be scared of this team, because this starting lineup is so well-rounded. The Jimmy Butler addition adds a guy that can make your team so much better on both sides of the ball. The Timberwolves were not a very good defensive team last season. Jimmy Butler will help that so much. And Taj Gibson as well, he's a solid defensive player. You got some good bench play. I like the bench on this team a lot, because Gorgie Jang is a starting caliber player in the NBA. Jamal Crawford is a 6th man of the year guy. He's not going to be that great for that much longer, but right now that's what he's here to do. You got a really solid bench, I would say. And the starting lineup, of course, is phenomenal. This team has the potential to be a contender, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they'll be really good. I'm not saying I said they would be the 4 seed, but I don't know if I cannot see them getting past 2 rounds in the playoffs. They're not making the conference finals. They might not even get past 1 round in the playoffs. It would be interesting to see that happen. But I can see them losing in the first round. I definitely see them making it, but I don't think they're going to get a first round victory. They won't get a second round victory though. But yeah, this team has all the talent in the world. And they got guys that are going to get better. Like Wiggins and Towns are young. These guys are getting better. Gorgie Jang as well. Shabazz Muhammad, guys on their bench even like that. And they added some great veteran players like Teague and Butler and Gibson and Crawford and Brooks. So, time will tell. It's going to be very interesting. They're the most unpredictable team this season. They could be great, or they could be a huge disappointment. And the Pelicans are another team that could fit this format. But I think the Timberwolves are to a higher degree. I think that their ceiling is higher. I don't know if their floor is lower, but their ceiling is much higher than the Pelicans, I would definitely say. That's going to do it. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Let me know what you think about this. Subscribe if you're new, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.